Tom Ross podcast. When creating the movie, there were many aspects of research that had to be covered by members of the crew so that the new movie would be a success. There are 4 types of research techniques that had to be covered. These 4 are primary, secondary, quantitative, and qualitative. Using these research techniques, they were able to find out that what the general public would like and what they want to see in the film. Primary research is where they will create the questionnaire or a survey of some kind to find out the research themselves. This will create their own research that nobody will have, which means the research will be unique. Some of the methods that are used to find out the information are surveys, questionnaires, blogs, interviews, sometimes secondary research, and based off other films, like Taken, are very similar qualitative and quantitative research. The results that I got from my exit poll are at the bottom of the page that I have in my hand. All these were for a film called Walk Among the Tombstones. I created a series of questions that will give me the information I need to create my podcast. When I got the exit polls filled in, they were mostly filled in by males, showing that the gender mainly aimed for the film is actually males. This shows the film will mainly be appealed to a male gender. However, some women that actually went to watch the film, which kind of counterbalances the fact that it was mainly aimed at males. Most of the people that went were actually teenagers, aged between 15 to 20 years old, aiming it towards more of a younger age. However, there were some people between the ages of 36 and 40, which again kind of counterbalances it, which means it appeals to all genders and all ages, making it more appealing to everyone. This implies that the film will be live by a younger audience. This shocked me, as I thought that older people would prefer it due to the film's storyline and genre and stuff like that. The film was very similar to the film Taken, this making it appeal to most of the population as Taken was such a popular film. This is proven as most of the people went to watch the film because Liam Neeson appealed to them. This is something called star theory. It's like an effect used. Basically, they'll use a star, like for example, the one I'm using, A Walk Among the Tombstones, use Liam Neeson. Because the film was so much like Taken, they used Liam Neeson in it, which would make them think, oh, it's much like Taken. I really enjoyed Taken 2. I'll go watch that film. Yeah. People come to watch a film because they know the actor had made successful films before, like I said, Taken. Other ways in which they found the film interesting and why they came to watch it was TV adverts, radio adverts, word of mouth, posters, the actual style of the movie, which kind of shocked me in a way because it was, I don't know, it kind of shocked me that most young people went to watch it. And magazines, TV, radio, word of mouth, and the posters were all very similar in how people found out about the film. All the results came to mainly around about 20 people each all found out from the film from these same things, showing that they're both equally as popular and that the film is actually produced and presented successfully, because lots of people found out from many different types of media. The reason he's attracted to the audience because they knew what to put on the poster and what clips would be the most successful in the trailer. Some other questions that I used in my questionnaire were, what was your opinion of the film? I got quite a lot of varied answers. Some people liked the film, some people didn't. Some people thought that it took too long to get into. So, say the first hour of the film was very slow, took a while to get into the story, and so you got into it, so you get rather bored rather quickly. I asked what strengths and weaknesses there were, how old they were, if they rate the movie on a scale of 1 to 10. Now, saying that most people found the film quite boring at the start and examples like that, I got an overall rating of about 6 or 7. I mean, there's a couple of people that rated it 3, 2, arranging between there. That was about 15%, 20% of the actual population that I asked from exit polls. But the majority, the rest of the 80%, got about 7 or 8, 6, something around that margin, making the film actually kind of popular, but not as actually high as I thought it would. I was expecting it to be a lot higher in the overall. I asked if there was a sequel to the film. I asked, would they go watch it? Reason I asked this is because Taken did so well, they created Taken 2. Again, another film which was really popular, However, many people said no. Reason being is because some films that have made sequels end up making sequels too many. Example, Star Wars, they made 6 films. Fast and Furious, they're creating their 7th, 8th film. I mean, yeah, they're all good, they're all really popular, and there isn't a reason why they shouldn't. There are stars making money, films making money, producers, so I don't understand why they wouldn't. But I was kind of shocked that people wouldn't go to watch this, a sequel to it. Yeah, many people said no. I said, why do you think the producers chose Liam Neeson to play the part? Many people came back to me saying it was because he did so well in Taken, as I said. And one of my questions was actually, did you think it was a rip-off of Taken? I got a really 50-50 based answer off this, finding out whether it was actually, I don't know, whether it was a rip-off or not. Most people found it pretty evenly distributed between the two. Going on to part 2 of it is actually the posters, magazines, covers on it. They use something called the Gutenberg design principle. There's one section called the primary optical area. This tells you that Liam Neeson is in the movie. Also says that the title of the movie is what the title of the movie is, that he's in the movie, his name's at the top, title of the film's at the top, anchoring in the audience to come watch the film so they know what it is. The strong follow area, all that's pretty much is there is the same as what is in the primary optical bit. They're both at the top of the poster, top of the magazine. All the audience is going to look straight there, banging, and they know what's in the film. They know who's in it, what the film's called. They have a slogan. People are afraid of all the wrong things. I mean, that the slogan itself really intrigues you to watch a film. That is another anchoring technique that I think is good. The slogan that really brings the audience bit of mystery, bit of suspense, thinks, oh yeah, I really want to go and watch that film. The terminal area, all that really is there is a picture of a gun, a bag, a gravestone, stuff like that. The writing at the bottom that has to go on the poster but doesn't really need to be there, but it has to go there for certain things. There's a pool of water at the bottom of the page that cross-links the movie with death, showing the audience what will actually be in the film, what it's all about. And the weak fallow area, all that was there was a gun and a bit of grass. Reason being, the bottom left of the poster, your eyes pretty much don't go there on the cover. They're the last thing to do. You kind of do a circle of the page going from top left, top right, bottom left, making it the last area you look at. Mostly in magazines, they'll put price, barcode, any add-ons like CDs in it. In old magazines, I know that I used to read, there used to be like ringtones that you could buy for £4.50 or something like that. Certain ringtones that you could buy, they were always in the bottom left. Like I said, people don't really look at that bit. The genre codes and conventions of the film, it brings a lot of illusions of life and death. Basically, there's a gun, there's blood. What more do you want for a movie? It intrigues you so much, it entices you into the movie, it brings you in, the illusions there. That's what they've brought in. Like, they wanted to get across the genre straight away and tell you what most of the movie's about. Lonely mannered writing. This covers the blood, danger aspects of the poster. The film, the reflection at the bottom of the water suggests that the water is blood. This signifies that there's going to be death in the film. Like I've said, they wanted to entice it. Graveyard brings across a supernatural feel to the film. The reason I said that is that most films these days that have graveyards on the front, crucifix, whatever, tombstones, always end up being zombie films coming under the supernatural genre. You may think, oh, why is the gravestones? I mean, I know it's called A Walk Among the Tombstones, hinting why they're actually there. The gun actually suggests danger. This brings across the fact is literally there's lots of danger in the film. There's going to be violence, like I've said. The anchorage, the fact that the producers chose Liam Neeson for the film anchors the audience because he's a star that has such success to the films. Like I've said, I've been over that. Modes of address, the way Liam Neeson is looking at you may feel like he means business and he's on a mission. Really entices you into the film, really makes you want to come watch it. The fact he've used Liam Neeson again is star theory, bringing him in because of Taken. But the way he's positioned, the way they took the photograph is Liam Neeson is actually looking at you. And when you go to like an art gallery or something, when you look at a picture where the eyes are straight, it's an effect that I can't really remember, but there's literally eyes looking at it, and it's if the eyes are following you, and it really makes you think, I want to go and watch that film. It's enticing me. I'm being dragged in by the image on the thing. This is another thing that makes you want to come watch it, as it brings up a sense of mystery, as you want to know why he looks so serious, what is actually going on in the film. Part 3 is Lacey's repertoire of elements. Basically, this is the setting, character, narrative, iconography, and style of the film. So the setting is set in New York, Washington Heights, suggests that the film's actually going to be action. All action films, well, not all, but most, a good 80%, I should feel, 90 probably, are set in the big cities. I feel this brings across a sense of realism. Most of the things that happen these days, being this film, based on what it's on, is actually really, it could be true, basically. That was one of the things that anchored me into the film. The fact that it's set in a big city makes loads of people think, oh, that's where I live. And the fact this could happen around my area, makes them panic, makes them feel like they're involved in the movie. And that is another fantastic thing that I think they anchored in. Another cliche to the movie is that it's set on a bar, on a street that we don't know, but it's in a bar. Most action films that you see these days are actually set in bars across lines. Starting scene in the trailer, the first thing you see is a bar. He's drinking, obviously depressed, obviously something wrong. It brings it across. The characters, Liam Neeson is the detective, so he's the protagonist. The victim is this man's wife, who's obviously got murdered. The second victim is this girl in a red coat. The fact she wears a red coat in the trailer shows there's danger, shows there's death, warns the audience that something's going to happen to this specific girl. And obviously the men in the car are the villains, and in the van, this is what I thought was really similar to Taken. In the trailer, to Taken, there's a guy in the van and he's watching this girl go by, and the exact same thing was taken out of Walking the Tombstones. Two guys in a van watching a girl across the street. It was pretty much the exact same thing, I think. The narrative events. In the trailer, there are certain elements that are left out. This intrigues the target audience as they want to know what happens. Some clips are also edited down to create a sense of excitement throughout the advert. However, the way they pick the clips is very clever, as they will need to bring across the genre of the film and tell them a brief story off about the film. So it brings across the storyline, the genre, what is going on, but in a really good way. The fact that it's fit into this minute and a half trailer, and the editing, the way they've used it's fast paced. The editing's short, clips are shortened together really quickly, flashing between the two. Sense creative excitement, danger, action, everything that's relating back to the genre of the film. The iconography, the Empire State Building, the New York skyline, bar. The colour shows that it's going to be in action because there isn't much colour, but they're slowly getting brighter. Basically, what I meant by this is that it starts off in mostly black and white. Most of the flashbacks are quite dark. But as throughout the film, it gradually gets lighter, I think. The clips become more colourful, become more vibrant and more appealing to the eye, making you want to come watch the film. And actually, I think this understates a small kind of, I can't think of the word, small understory, I think. Basically telling the audience that the film is going to have an happy ending. It starts off dark and goes the brighter, shown in the colours. I think that's just a kind of small hidden thing that they've put in there. I may be wrong, but I just think that's what they've done. It's very iconic that the main character is an ex-cop, is a detective. They always are in these kind of films. Makes it appealing to happy audience to watch these films because they watch these actual types of films with the cop being the actual. The reason for this is it always plays the part. So specifically from the Taken films, he was an ex-military agent, he was an ex-private investigator, he was a bodyguard. There's always got to be something where he's got a background to action, so he knows how to fight, he knows how to kill. He's a bad man, basically. He knows what he's doing. He's a mean man. Style technique, the camera's used as tracking shots. There's lots and lots of tracking shots going from one side to the other, following certain targets, following certain actors across the stream, making you think, why are they following this certain person? Why are they making this person have so much screen time, basically? Editing, there's lots of fades, colour enhancements, quick shots. The sound is not very diegetic. Because the non-diegetic sound is from the very start of the film builds suspense. Lots of this dark music kind of gets brighter. The sound effects use gunshots showing action. Start of the film trailer, the 3 gunshots showing action in the film. Basically shows you a small clip of flashback from the film. This bringing across like the action of it, or like I said, shows it's going to be enticing, makes you want to come watch the film, anchors you in to watch it.